As an example, Biotech Moose sent out this text. There's no doubt that Thomas PETERFFY needs money right now. When he was head of Interactive Brokers and sold 80,000 IBK shares at $79 each, he got $6.3 million in cash. Biotech Moose wrote that Thomas PETERFFY is surely in need of money since he is losing a lot of it. You may remember the video that came out the other day that had Thomas PETERFFY talking about GameStop with a man in shorts. His body language was bad, and he looked very sad. Biotech Moose wrote on Twitter, "Fix 3 million buys a lot of ape, where a lot of MC call options to protect his short position. Most likely, Thomas PETERFFY is also shorting an MC in GameStop and knows that he's about to get squished because of it. His main goal is to sell more shares and get more cash, so that he can either add to his short position or try to get out at the last minute." When Thomas PETERFFY thought that Virtue, Jane Street, Citadel, and Bank of America were selling gardens on an MC a few months ago, he was right. Or it's possible that Interactive Brokers was one of the companies they picked to hold their debt. They would probably get in trouble for MC squeezing and go out of business. That being said, it's not just Interactive Brokers and Thomas PETERFFY. Another thing that Credit Suisse does is hold a lot of debt for an MC and give a lot of money to short sellers who were caught by the apes. Credit Suisse has written a lot of total return swaps, which is something that is talked about later in the movie. It is known that Credit Suisse wrote a lot of these total return swaps. They are likely on the other side of our deal and risking a lot of money on these short total return swap positions. In the event of an MC squeeze, Credit Suisse is likely to fail, just like RK Goss Capital Management did. Credit Suisse was found to have lied about how much money it was losing in order to comfort customers. When Credit Suisse lies to their clients about how much money buyers are taking out, it's clear that they either need money badly or are trying very hard to hold on to it. The head of Credit Suisse said that withdrawals had pretty much stopped. Yet, exactly 1 month later, another $25 billion to $30 billion was taken out. Right now, Swiss market officials are looking into the head of Credit Suisse for possibly lying to keep the company from going bankrupt. Which is another example of how, look at this tweet from G-Man and Stryker. G-Man's tweet says that Krupp now has $65 billion in stocks that have been sold but not yet bought. He also said that Citadel has $65 billion and SUISSE has $78 billion. That is, stock worth $210 billion has been sold but never bought from just 3 Wall Street hedge funds. To remind you, securities sold but not yet bought include both securities that have been sold, also called shorted, where real shares have not been found, in securities that we have bought where our trading platforms could not find real shares to SELTAs and therefore only issued AUS. It looks like these shorts are shaking right now because of all the good things that are happening for the MC squeeze. I can't even begin to guess how many stocks have been sold but not yet bought by these 3 hedge funds, let alone all the other hedge funds on Wall Street and those big prime dealers. Adam Aron, of course, asked on Twitter over the weekend if anyone was ready. He said, "Look at this beautiful box that holds the 6 new varieties of Homa MC. Perfectly popcorn that tastes like they belong in a movie theater. This week, information about when and where to buy it in stores will be made public," he said. This is the 3rd time in a row that Adam Aron has said the same words or phrase. What does this picture really mean? I have no idea, but I do know that an MC will be offering tasty popcorn in stores near you. This shows that MC's base is getting stronger, and it's another way for MC to make money that will probably be profitable. Legally, hedge funds can short stocks, but not new ways to make money. You can't short this store. It was bought popcorn and is now being held for the 2022 box office smash shorts. Based on POS's tweet this week during MC earnings season, MC sales went up from $1.2 billion in 2022 to $2.50 billion in 2021. Adam Aron had given him new information about the popcorn in shops, which he shared. Aron said it was a wrap and the shorts would be vaporized. The rise to $4 billion in 2022, on the other hand, is great for the IMC foundations and will make MC a much better business. Along with more triggers, this is likely to lead to an AMC crush that is similar to the Tesla squeeze. Not just 13 days in a row, but 16 days in a row, an MC has been on the threshold stocks list. Also, it's clear that the ridiculously high cost of getting money for MC and the non-existent FTX synthetics is no longer there. The short sellers seem to be getting deeper and deeper into their short bets every day until they run out of money. StockSense Frank also said that the ACA Volatility Index, called Option Volume 4, February, is on track to hit its highest level since the pandemic began in March 2020. In simple terms, when you buy a call option on something, you are betting that the price will go up. Basically sums up how everyone feels about the market. If the VIX goes down, it means that everyone is optimistic about the market and that it's likely to go up. But when the VIX goes up or spikes, everyone is probably scared because the stock market is going to crash. Many investors are buying call options for the VIX, which could set a new all-time high. This basically means that everyone thinks the market is about to crash again. And of course, if the next market crash does happen, these shorts will lose a lot of money, which they don't really have because their long bets are going to shrink. Even more, making those margin calls and liquidations happen anyway. Also, these call options aren't just being bought by people in the general market. Also, Bank of America CEO Brian Moen told people to get ready for a U.S. failure and a recession. A strategist for the bank also said that the stock market will likely drop in the second half of this year because the U.S. recession is taking longer than expected to happen. Like other big banks like JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs, Bank of America thinks that the stock market is about to crash, or that the next round of layoffs will start in the second quarter or second half of this year. These VIX buying and call options seem to back up or agree with these ideas. His tweet said that Terra is short, and he already knew that. He said they sold 380,000 shares of an MC short and have a number of swaps and per options that all bet on the price of an AMC going down. I also wanted to find out what Antera's through short position was and see how it matched up with their true long position. This shows Antera's full position in both the MC and APE based on the underlying shares they hold. 5 million AMC shares and about 250 million units of preference stock. Not only that, but you can also see that they have a huge list of MC and APE versions. They have 7 separate total return swaps in an MC that are worth anywhere from 366 shares, worth nothing, to 10 million shares, worth everything. The other person to these is probably it. The company behind total return swaps is Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse also need cash badly because they have been lying to investors about how much money investors have really taken out. Antara also has a huge number of both call and put options. But this list shows that they have more put choices than calls. Another thing is that, even though this list is pretty long, their short position isn't that far ahead of their long position. When you add up all of their put options, MC shares, and total return swaps, you can see that they are only shorting about 17 million MC shares indirectly through these derivatives. On the other hand, it is clear that they own 250 million preferred stock units. In fact, NetNet is long on AMC. Because of this, it is clear that they are using fewer put options and fewer total return swaps to protect this huge long position. But the fact that Antera has a smaller short position shows that many of these hedge funds are using and abusing these total return swaps. That makes it clear that they don't need to report any of this ownership for their total return deals. 13 files in Fahrenheit. Of course, this is how a lot of hedge funds and big companies are hiding their MC short positions. That's all we have for you today, guys. How do you feel about MC's stock? Thanks for watching, and please let me know what you think in the part below.